So in these final chapters of the book of Nehemiah, we see the Israelites settled in their towns, but Jerusalem was kind of empty. It wasn't quite full enough. There weren't enough people there to establish an economy and a polity. And so 10% of the people were chosen from each tribe to move to the city. So those ones came, and then there were also those who voluntarily decided to move to Jerusalem from the tribes of Judah and Benjamin. And along with them, there were also priests, Levites, and gatekeepers who were living in the city at the time. Plus the other ones who were not, who were non-Israelites too, who were there. So there were like a few, or non-military, people. But I think the whole idea of this was for them to be able to build up like a military force to protect Jerusalem because it didn't have enough people. Now, the dedication of the wall of Jerusalem was a big deal. This was hosted by Jeremiah, their prince, as I like to call him, and it featured Levites, singers, leaders, 2 choir processions, and the choir processions led the Thanksgiving to the Lord, and there were lots more. There was a lot of fanfare, and I thought that must have been really exciting. There was a very important fact in chapter 12, verse 37, and that was in the description that was given. So in the description given of the procession that the second choir took, right, was actually the key in helping archaeologists unlock where David's palace was. So just a few decades ago, they were able to discover and excavate David's palace just because of this description. How amazing is that? So they've also been discoveries of ancient artifacts from that time as a result of that. And then a very fun fact, some of the wall that they rebuilt, some of the wall of Jerusalem is still standing till today. It's so amazing how, these kind of things give credibility to the scriptures. Like, so if there's even anyone who is a skeptic, you can see how some of the things that are here line up with things that you can see in real life. How amazing is that? Now, life appeared to be going well in Jerusalem, and the people were feeling like a people again as their communities were being rebuilt, and then Nehemiah was giving new responsibilities to the people. And then they also kept reading the Torah to ensure that they were obeying God's commands and doing the things, keeping his words and doing the things that he had asked them to. And it was then that they discovered a very big oversight, that no Moabite or Ammonite was actually allowed in God's temple. So that was a very big discovery for them. This was because back in the day, remember, the Moabites and the Ammonites didn't help them, didn't give them supplies when the children of Israel were sojourning. In fact, those ones, the Ammonites even went as far as getting their king Balak went to get Balaam to try to curse the people. But then, of course, God turned it around. So when they found out about this, they obviously made things right. Now, these people, remember yesterday when I said put a pin on it? Yeah, they were very quick to go against the things that they had signed and promised God that they wouldn't do. So I remember in chapter 9 to 38, verse 38, that's what they did. They signed this agreement to say these are the things that we will do. But they didn't. They were not taking care of the priests. They weren't tithing. They were working on the Sabbath, even like trading with people. As in, Nehemiah got so mad. It made me laugh when they said he locked the city gates and told those people that were trading that if they ever came back again. I just imagine like, an angry father. So he was very angry, and he actually forced them to obey, because he was like, listen, you guys signed this treaty or signed this agreement. You must keep to it. And then that's one shady priest, Eliashib, who I was actually fraternizing with the enemy, actually gave Tobiah a room in the Lord's temple to store his stuff. Like, the audacity. So I was like, it's Israel, but then it reminds me of us. This is how we are as human beings, going one way, and then all of a sudden you just like diverge and just and everything, all your efforts are in the mud. It's quite it's quite terrible. And so the children of Israel were also marrying foreign women, which they knew they weren't supposed to. And they weren't teaching their children the law of the Lord. They weren't teaching them Yahweh's ways. And, Nehemiah was mad and forced them to listen. And then we go to Psalm 126. Now, this was the last Psalm I bet you thought we were done with the Psalms, right? Me too. But this was a very powerful Psalm and a very popular one too. Everyone knows that Psalm that says, when the Lord turned the captivity of Israel, we were like men that dreamed. So it really talked about the restoration of the people, and our mouths were filled with laughter, and our tongues were filled with songs of joy. So it was a very, very, happy and prophetic psalm of thanksgiving. But one thing that did stand out to me was chapter 5 verse 5, that said, those who sow in tears will reap with joy. And I think this is such a powerful thing and something that's worth remembering, especially in hard and challenging times. So here's my hashtag getting to know God lesson from reading these chapters. God produces joy in us as a result of his joy. In chapter 12, verse 43, it says, and in the day they offered the great sacrifice, rejoicing because God had given them great joy. This is a testament that God put joy in the hearts of the people, and that joy could only come from him. The people were essentially still committing the same sins as their ancestors and were steadily breaking his laws. We ourselves could be guilty of the same things today, but God is still concerned about our hearts, and he still fills us with great joy because of his love in spite of ourselves. What an amazing God. And with that, we have concluded the 37th and the 38th books of the Bible. Tomorrow we'll round up the Old Testament with the book of Malachi, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to see you here. God bless you. See you tomorrow, God willing.